What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel, 3Piece Suite.
I'm Denny.
I'm Luis.
And I'm Will.
On today's episode of The Music Box, we're going to be reviewing Orphaned Land's Unsung Prophets and Dead Messiahs.
And as always, if you enjoy our videos, make sure to give it a like and subscribe below.
Orphaned Land is a heavy metal band from Israel that was created in 1991 and are widely considered one of the pioneers of Oriental metal. Their newest album, Unsung Prophets and Dead Messiahs, was released worldwide on January 26, 2018 by Century Media Records. This album has been heavily anticipated for 5 years. Since their 2013 release, All Is One was greatly received by fans and critics around the world. Unsung Prophets and Dead Messiahs is the band's first album to feature Iran Amsalant on guitars, and also the first album without co-founding member Yossi Sazi. The rest of the band's lineup consists of founding members Kobi Farhi on vocals and Yuri Selha on bass, as well as Matan Shmuli on drums and Chen Balvis on guitars.
One of the things that stands out about the album is the amazing sonic qualities. Unsung Prophets and Dead Messiahs was produced entirely by the band and was mixed and mastered at Fascination Street Studios by Jens Bogren and Tony Lindgren, respectively. Jens Bogren is a highly acclaimed producer in the metal world, with countless amounts of great sounding records coming out of his studio. It's no wonder that Orphaned Land chose him and Tony Lindgren to finish their product to sound fantastic. Throughout the album, the band does a spectacular job of blending in elements of their Oriental roots, progressive metal, cinematic soundscapes, clean and screaming vocals, and beautiful use of vocal choirs.
The lyrics and musical compositions do a superb job of meshing together perfectly to paint a motion picture-like vision to the listeners. As confirmed by lead vocalist and lyricist Kobi Farhi, and I quote, "Our music has always been a combination of anger, tragedy, protest, and joy. We feel that this album takes our feelings to a new level of anger, protest, and tragedy." Kobi Farhi also stated that the allegory of the cave by Plato was his main source of inspiration for the lyrical theme. The overall theme throughout the album is how humanity allows their government rulers to continue to oppress the common people instead of standing together, and how our societies are intentionally distracted and dumbed down. The band intentionally bleeps out certain parts of the lyrics on 4 separate occasions on the album to further push across the lyrical concept, and as a way of indicating the band is trying to spread a message of being censored by the system.
Guest musicians on the album include Blind Guardian vocalist Hansi Kirsch on the track Like Orpheus,
At the Gates vocalist Thomas Lindberg on the track Only the Dead Have Seen the End of War,
and Genesis guitars Steve Hackett on the track Chains Fall to Gravity.
And now for our favorite tracks from this album. My personal favorite tracks were Left Behind and In Propaganda.
My favorite tracks were The Cave and Like Orpheus.
My favorite tracks were Chain Falls to Gravity and Like Orpheus.
Finally, our overall assessment of the album, I would rate this album a 9 out of 10. It's a fantastic album from start to finish. There's a lot of diversity and a lot of elements used, and the flow of the music and the lyrics together, it almost feels like a motion picture. I personally saw these guys play at Prague Power USA last year, and it was a fantastic performance filled with a lot of energy and raw emotion. And that's one thing that carried on over to the album as well. Kobi Farhi's vocals, the way he sings those vocal melodies and the lyrics, you can just feel a lot of raw emotion there and a lot of hurt and pain with the way he's able to sing those vocals.
For me, I'm going to rate this album an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a great album. I love the production. I'm always a little bit more biased towards great productions. I thought the production had a very organic feel to it, and it's very fitting because the music has a lot of traditional sounds and a lot of different ethnic instruments blended with the metal. It's blended together very well, and it just has a very organic feel to it, and I think the lyrics are fantastic, and the album is just very well put together, and it's just a fantastic album. I recommend it for sure.
And for my overall assessment of this album, I would rate it a solid 8.5 out of 10. I think the melodies were very, very haunting, and like Luis said, the emotion is just really out there. I think the styles were blended well together along with the lyrics. This is definitely a great listen for the year 2018.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of The Music Box.
And as always, please make sure to give this video a like and click on that subscribe button below for more videos coming soon.
Until next time,
Cheers!